Hi, my name is MOSHE ASHKENAZI. I'm a Deputy Director of Safra Children's Hospital in Sheba Medical Center. It was Saturday morning, October 7th. We were about to go for a family trip, and we heard the alarms. And like all of the Israeli people, we were also completely surprised, spending a few hours in the home shelter. And then after 2 or 3 hours, I was already in the hospital because they declared multi-casual event, like in the national level. So we had to be here, all the senior physicians and the management. And since then, the whole Saturday, we were here preparing the hospital for taking care of the injuries, of the injured soldiers and the civilians. And also made some changes in the structure of Safra Children's in order to prepare ourselves for the next days. Like we had some units, for example, we had some units that were outside of the building in a remote place that has no shelters, so we had to bring them back during Saturday in order that on Sunday we could already walk. So there's a drill. It's called mass casualty event drill. There's a certain level of the mass casualty event. We were in the highest level, like the national level. So it means that certain staff should be here. Also with a certain number of physicians and nurses. And we had to prepare empty beds in the emergency room, for example, pediatric surgery. We had to evacuate some beds. And we have to remember that during this time, Israel went into a war. It means that a big number of physicians and nurses were drafted to the army urgently. Yeah. It affected us that we were short with staff. Like on this Saturday, 18 physicians and, if I'm not wrong, around 30 nurses were drafted to the military. Like and we had to arrange ourselves to arrange a new schedule with the staff that is remained in order that the hospital can be ready for emergency and also to continue the routine. We had to continue the routine. The ambulatory services, for example, we didn't cancel nothing. None of the activities, the planned surgeries, nothing was cancelled. We could continue. The point is to do more with less, is to prepare yourself to the emergency. It means to check the shelters. Some units during emergency should go down to underground facilities that unfortunately we did it a few times in the past. We have to, as I said before, to bring the remote units of Safra from other places into Safra building that is more protected, to continue the ambulatory services, and also to speak with the staff and to tell everyone we are strong, we are stable, we continue forward. We are in a war, but Sheba is a strong organization, and we are like a beacon on the healthcare, Israeli healthcare, and everybody should do like we do. Because we are used to the emergency situations here, but not such a situation. We did stuff. There was some. In the history, there were a few operations that we had to go also to prepare ourselves to go down to underground facilities, but not in such an extent. And also what made the difference on October 7th was that we started to hear about people that we know that got murdered. And this was also something extraordinary. I remember that at least 3 people I heard that, like, I know them, not my close circle, but a second circle or third circle, that got murdered in the party, and this is also part of the chaos. In ideal world, I would separate it, but it's impossible to separate it. Okay, I mean, we can speak about. I mean, during this year, we have lost too many people, and unfortunately, many of them I knew personally also. So it's impossible to separate the personal grief and the daily work here. But I must say that the work here, the routine here, strengthens you. Me personally, it strengthened me because we do something with meaning. We treat people. We treated some people from the south. we helped them. I mean, especially during this week that the hostages came back in the end of November. It gave a lot of meaning to our actions, and it gives a lot of energy. But after 1 year, I must say that the load is big, and sometimes too big. Mm-hmm. The atmosphere is bad. The atmosphere in Israel is very bad. It's from sadness to depression. I don't want to go into political issues, but this is the atmosphere that you don't see the end. Not only you don't see the end, I mean, maybe the worst part is even before us. I mean, we are going to face a war in the north. It's not going to be like the war we had in the last year. And here in the hospital, it's more like a bubble. After all, we are a pediatric hospital. It's more happy place. Children, they are the best patients in the world. We also get some positive energy from them, from our patients. I think we are in a different scenario. Then it was after 51 to 56 days. We expected different kind of hostages that we expect now. It's also lessons that were learned from these 4 that were released in a military operation not long time ago, and also from the last 6 that were brutally murdered just before the IDF reached the tunnel. For sure, we will expect different problems. Also, organic problems like malnutrition. Maybe some injured that were neglected, and of course mental situation which would be completely different. Someone which is 1 year in a tunnel underground, or someone that was 50 something days, most of the time not in a tunnel, but so it's going to be a different movie. So as pediatric hospital, we're in charge of the children. Now, to the best of our knowledge, there are 2 children left, young children, a baby and his older brother. All the rest are adults, mainly soldiers. We could help because we gained a lot of experience during the end of November, during this week. We have a team that is well experienced, that was practicing the methodology very well during this week, and I'm sure we can also help the adult physicians and the adult staff to take care of the adult hostages that will come back. Well, I'm very proud that Sheba showed, as always, resilience that you cannot count in words, you cannot describe in words. But not only now. If you go back to March 2020, COVID crisis, when the first patients came from this ship, the Diamond Princess in Japan, and Sheba was the only hospital that was willing to accept them. And within 48 hours, Sheba built a facility for them, equipped with a cutting-edge technology to take care of a disease that nobody knew its nature. And it's not only the brave staff of Sheba that volunteered to take care of them. It's also the whole hospital that was standing firm and was leading the fighting COVID in Israel then. It continued the following days, like we were the first one in the world to get the vaccination. And I think that was very natural that also during 7th of October, Sheba stood still and showed its power and resilience to the other hospitals. And I remember that Professor Kai said that the best thing we can do is to continue with the routine, and he was completely right. He said, when we tell everyone, okay, there's a war, but we continue to see the patients in the outpatient clinic, and zero cancellation. He didn't want nobody to cancel, nothing. It worked, and it also helped us to continue forward and with the war.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, also personally, in my past, after finishing medical school, I was serving 4 years as a combat physician in the military, including the Second Lebanon War. And unfortunately, it comes with the years. You know, the resilience, the functioning under pressure, functioning when you get bad news, to continue to function. It's very difficult, and I say again, unfortunately, it's ability that I personally developed with the years. No other choice. The best thing I can wish us is the war to end. I think we need it. The people here need it. The state need it. And first, I would like to thank the world. We got a lot of support during the first 2-3 months. Almost every day there was another international visit here that came to support us. And it was heartwarming, and I was very proud of it. And at every visit I told them, it's not obvious that you are coming to Israel during this time, taking the plane and coming to visit us and to support. And we got presents from children around the world, and blankets and toys to the kids here. It was really nice. And but I think the war Israel is doing at the moment, it's a war. It's not a war of Israel. It's a war of the Western world against the radical and bad sides of the humanity. And I hope, cross my fingers, that it will soon end with a victory. One lesson that I learned as a physician from this year, and especially from this week that we had the hostages here, is that the resilience of the human beings is unbelievable. And what we saw from the hostages, what I learned from them, and those lessons I've got from the hostages that came back, it's lessons that I will remember to the rest of my life. I remember the group of one of the last nights, the group of 4 old ladies from Nir Oz, Kibbutz Nir Oz. Amazing women. 4 of them, what they went through in captivity, it's unbelievable, including operation without anesthesia. But we were sitting with them and talking with them, and they were optimistic, and with the families, and we saw the power of the community, the power of the kibbutz community, and it's something that I will remember. Yeah, we feel like there's a sentence in Hebrew that Kol Yisrael Aravim ze leze, like we are feel responsible to each other, and this is really it. This is really the women from the kibbutz, the people from the north, south, all over Israel, they really feel responsible to each other.